Hello. I'm Khosro, and I'm head sitter here at Urban Climb Milton. Long time ago now. But I think I got into route setting firstly as a way to support my coaching, because I was into coaching and coaching was very exciting. And then I learned very quickly that to be a better coach, you also need to know a lot about movements and how to create movements for your athletes. So that was kind of like the initial way to get into it. And then from there, it has become a separate entity for itself. I got into climbing through my friend. I had a friend who was a climber, and I used to make fun of him. I was like, "You're silly. Like, why do you need to climb a wall?" And then I was a teenager. And then the next year, I was like, I was trying different sports, and I was like, maybe I should try climbing. And I actually reached out to that friend, and like he took me to the gym, and he like helped me to like get in contact with everyone else, because back in the time climbing was like it was a tiny little community.
Yeah.
So like you had to know people to kind of get into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that friend helped me to get into it. And it's funny that he left and he stopped climbing after a couple of years, and I'm still here. So
Yeah. Look at you.
yeah. I think when I first started, it was very like, as I said, it was very coaching driven. So route setting was a way of like teaching people movements maybe.
Yeah.
Or if you want to challenge people in certain type of movements, it was a way to like, okay, I create this move and then I get my students on it, so they have to like really experience it. And that also creates that coaching opportunity. Then okay, now I can coach you on this move. So it was very like coaching driven, maybe initially.
Like through the lens of
Yeah,
teaching
because
students.
they complement each other a lot. Like if you look at like successful teams or like successful countries, the route setting and coaching programs are very close to each other because they complement each other so much.
Yeah.
Like you get like always coaches giving direction to route setters to like what to create or like what we need,
Yeah.
and then route setters having that challenge the direction to create it, and then pass it to the coaches, and then you get athletes involved or climbers involved, and then there's this like really cool atmosphere to really teach people now something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still look at it like that now?
Yeah, in some level,
Yeah.
it has changed a lot. I think that lens can be a bit dry
Yeah.
because it's that's a space that like you're always like challenging yourself and like pushing yourself to the next level. So as an athlete, it's very cool and very engaging.
Yeah.
But for like not sitting in a commercial form or like commercial environment, that's a bit too dry.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to bring that element of fun to it
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
because otherwise it's too much. Like some people are here to just have fun and have a good time, and that's so okay. Whereas, yeah, before it was like, I need to challenge you, I need to push you to the
Yeah.
next level. And now it's like, how can I find that good balance between two of them? Like you challenge people, there's that element of like, I'm learning something new, but I'm also having fun.
Yeah. you
I'm
can
like
sort of
achieving
sprinkle it in
something.
now.
Yeah. There's a lot of planning. I think the big one is that for us to understand the gym, like who are our customers.
Yeah.
What's the age group, what's the level, what's the experience level. And then from there choosing, okay, like when you think about the gym as a whole, like where do you want to sit?
Yeah.
Like even if that the spectrum, like are we like more catering towards like beginners, new climbers, or like more experienced climbers? So that's the big picture, like understanding the big picture. And then once you understand that, it's about, okay, like how can we deliver it now? That's also a pretty tricky task, because for a gym that is too big or too small, that could be very challenging in different ways.
Yeah.
Like if you're very small, things are gonna be noticeable very quickly. Like if you don't do a good job at like having a good variety, both like in terms of movements and also like difficulty of climbs, people notice it very quickly.
Yeah.
And if it's too big, you can very easily lose track of everything too. So there's a lot of definitely like spreadsheets, like everything that goes up goes into a spreadsheet, like following different colors, different circuits, and actually like being able to see everything as a package. And I guess once you have that picture, like that, like okay, when I look at my, for example, green band,
Yeah.
it's like I can see like where everything is sitting. Is everything too easy or is everything too hard? And then from there we take it. It's like okay, this week we need to actually set a really easy green because all the greens are really hard,
Yeah.
and we've been like cooking it too much. You need to like slow down a bit. And that also goes like in terms of movements, in terms of like different type of grip type that we use, like features, like is everything too big, is everything too small? So there's a lot of like brain power
Yeah.
that goes behind it to like get it to a, and not that we do it right all the time because
But that's
things
part of the
move so,
process.
yeah, and there's so many times that the way you feel about climb, it can be very different day to day too. Like you feel something it's easy, and then you come back in a few weeks and you're like, oh, it's actually quite hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's always like a learning process for us too, and we're always trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Like we have a plan. A lot of times that plan doesn't quite work, and then we have to catch up again. It's like,
Yeah.
how can we improve it or get it back to a good spot?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I think this is a really good gym for it. Like this is a like a good sized gym that is not too big or too small. It makes it a bit easier to like know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say as a head router there, it's a bit more tricky
Yeah.
because like I have to set, and on top of that I have to like make sure everyone else is doing well too, or
Yeah.
like if they need support, be there for them.
Yeah.
So that kind of leaves very small window for like, okay, I'm gonna go and explore and like be creative.
Yeah.
Because to be creative, you like firstly need a very like open head, like free mind.
Yeah.
To like, okay, I'm actually gonna go and play with this idea and see how it goes. But there is still opportunities. Like we still have days that are like less chaotic, less
Yeah.
busy. Or if I go to another gym, work with another headset there, and I'm just now a guy
Yeah.
climbing there and sitting there,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to like push a new idea or like aim for something new. There's in general, like it's quite tricky because we also have this pressure, like at the end of the day, we are like by like 4 p.m. things needs to be ready and like go up on the wall.
Yeah.
Because it's like being a restaurant and not having food for your people. It's not gonna
There's a
work.
time crunch, yeah.
So there is a bit of pressure there to like, okay, like you can't push it too far. I would say, yeah, like the times that we have like a space and a time that is allocated to that idea, that's the easiest.
Yeah.
Because if like worst case scenario, if things doesn't work, you just strip it and like leave it. It's like, okay, I come back to it another time. Yeah, it's like kind of doing art. Like you can't force your art to like be finished by 4 p.m.
No. That's
except
right.
if you've done it 100 times.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think that's what you see. Like a lot of times what goes on the wall is like something that we've done so many times, and we do like minor tweaks, like change something small about it, but there's no like dramatic change,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
That's really cool.
That's a hard one. It's actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because you need to like explain or see if they understand climbing or they know what is climbing. And then on top of that, explain to people like, okay, what do I do in a climbing gym? I usually like, I make sure they understand climbing. Like, do you know what is climbing? How does it work? And if they know what is climbing, I kind of explain it as like those people who make the puzzle. It's like, I just make the puzzle in a climbing gym and people come in and they try it.
That's really
It's like,
cool.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's
So-
a great way to summarize it.
Yeah, it's like, or people who put the stuff on the wall.
There's a much more simple form. of
Yeah,
explanation.
they definitely cannot get too like detailed or too specific about it. It has gone through a lot of changes, I would say, for me. Like when I started about 22 years ago compared to now.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, it gave me a lot of like a sense of community. Like I found lots of friends, like a group that like I was spending a lot of time with them. It was a very strong tool, feeling empowered too. Like especially for me doing like comp climbing as a way to like challenge myself and like get to the next level. But as I got older and I don't know, like moving out of that space, these days it's more about still community, like
Yeah.
spending time with friends, like
Circle back to that.
yeah, that's been always a big element. Like when I look back at my life, it's been always a big part of it. It's been that community, like the social aspect of climbing and friendship maybe.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is also like really good excuse to get out, be outside. Really good excuse to stay active. Like so it's such a nice way of staying active, both physically and mentally. And I don't know, like visiting new places, like going
Yeah.
to new areas, new countries, meeting new people.
Yeah.
Climbing is always such a, I think that's something that it has still kept, but it's such an open community. Like wherever you go, like I have so many memories of climbing. I don't know, for example, in Switzerland and meeting random people and making friends with them, and then next day I'm in their house staying with them for a few days because they just invited
Yeah.
me to their house, and I'm very grateful for that. So I think on top of everything, that's like that element of like connection, community, it's very important.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to have.
That's lovely.
Yeah, like seriously, it's been like I think about it a lot. Like even my partner is a climber,
Yeah.
like my friends are all climbers, like my work is climbing. The
Yeah.
reason for being here is climbing. Like
It's the whole life.
yeah, and I feel very grateful, and I feel like this job is kind of like my way of like giving something back to, which is very nice.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's like okay, like that did so much for me, and I feel like now I'm at the place that it's my turn to like,
You're doing your part.
yeah, because I had so many people like doing so much for me, and I was so lucky, and I'm very grateful for those people, and now I feel like, it's my turn to like do something. And again, that's like a fine line between like I'm actually enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Not like just purely like a feeling of pressure
Yeah.
that I need to do something. Or like, no, I actually really have fun doing this. Obviously, like as human, we go ups and downs. Like some days it's so much easier, some days like, ugh.
Yeah. It's just like,
But overall, I'm very happy, very grateful. It's nice, very nice space to be in.